guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about living with non-vegans if you're a vegan. So as you guys know, if you've been watching my other videos, I do live with 3 other people. I'm the only vegan. I live in a house of carnists. In fact, I'm the only minimalist. I live with absolute maximalists to an extreme, and we just don't share the same values. That's the situation that I'm in, and I know that I've had a lot of questions from you guys asking me how I deal with that. I also have a lot of young people who are watching me who are perhaps a little bit intimidated about the thought of going vegan as they live with non-vegans, and they think it's more difficult, or if they live with their parents who haven't raised them vegan but they're thinking of transitioning but they don't know how that's going to work in that setup. So this video is for you guys and to share my thoughts on my living situation. So I'm just going to kind of go off the cuff in this video. I'm not sure where it's going to take me. I just wanted to be a little bit organic and authentic in this video, to just share my thoughts as they arise. So I think the first thing would be that, as you've probably noticed, most people, the average Joe, is not open to new information. So when new information arises, they tend to be a little bit on the back foot, a little bit on the defensive, and if you try and share new information with them, especially if it's contradictory to their current lifestyle, they will see it as an attack, almost like a threat. So they'll be a bit more defensive and won't respond positively. This is unfortunately how most people behave. So sharing the new information about the health benefits or the environmental benefits or the animal cruelty that happens in the meat and dairy industries, they'll probably be a little bit defensive and come up with reasons why you're crazy, or why that's not true, or why their current lifestyle is better than yours, and they'll completely just reverse it in their mind and just say no, 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 and not receive the information that you're giving them. So it'll be a complete waste of your time. They'll probably become very closed off in the long run as well, and not be open to hearing what you have to say again. So this, I know it's contradictory to what we think, but it's probably one of the worst things that we can do, is try and confront people from the outset. Instead, I would try to just be a positive, healthy, thriving example in front of them, without pushing your views or even talking about anything to do with veganism. Just be an example, set the examples, like look at how healthy and thriving and happy I am in this lifestyle. Without saying that, you can just show that through your energy, through your delicious, colorful, nutritious food, through how happy you are, just through your entire energy. I would also suggest that sometimes it's healthier for us to just let go. Don't try and change people's minds. And I know that the meat and dairy industry are affecting the health of the animals, affecting the lives of the animals. It can be difficult to try and put that to the back and just try and stay silent when there's such suffering going on that isn't even your own. But if we're constantly focusing on how awful that is, and therefore trying to change people's minds, it can be very frustrating when we're not receiving the response that we desire, which doesn't usually happen. So it can downward spiral into negative feelings, into stress, and even into depression. In this situation, I would say take a step back, focus on your own mental and emotional health, and just know that it sometimes is more beneficial in the long run to just let go. I know this is especially difficult for new vegans, people who are just transitioning, because they've just had all of this information at once that has made them transition to veganism. It's a lot of new information to assimilate, and then you think that, oh my god, I've been living my whole life like this, I need to let other people know so that they can follow the same path as me, because if people only knew what was happening, then they would stop, which is true. I do absolutely believe that everyone in the world will one day be vegan, and I think that they would be if only they knew. It's just that lack of information, and so sharing that information can seem like I want to just spend my life doing that, try and share it with anyone and everyone I know and everyone I meet. But like I said before, people aren't usually open to receiving that new information, and they'll be defensive, and so a lot of the time you can kind of have a feel of the situation, and if you feel it getting a little bit defensive, just back off, because it's not going to be helping anyone in the long run. Saying that, when you are faced with a healthy argument or a conversation that crops up, usually started by the other person, I would suggest to go in educated and well informed. So watching documentaries like Earthlings, Cowspiracy, What the Health, and Forks Over Knives, and reading books like The China Study and How Not to Die are great resources. They'll get you clued up and ready to respond in a really effective and informative way to people, which will get them thinking, and even if they seem a little bit defensive initially, they will go away and assimilate the information and think it over, and it might just sink in that little bit to take them a step further in their journey to becoming plant-based. I will link these resources and some others in the description box below if you guys want to check them out, just to get clued up so that you are ready to respond to any questions that you come across, which if you are talking about going vegan, or if you're a new vegan and people find out, you absolutely will be bombarded with questions and probably passive-aggressive comments, and so it's always good to have a really knowledgeable and succinct and informative response to these. So I would suggest watching Earthlings for the sake of the animals, watching Cowspiracy for the sake of the environment, and What the Health and Forks Over Knives for the health of other people and personal health, and also reading The China Study for largely the big conspiracy about proteins and how food affects our internal health, and then also reading How Not to Die just about pretty much everything. Also, the man who wrote How Not to Die has a website where he puts up daily informative short videos, so I'll link that all below in the description box. My last tip is, of course, if you are finding that being surrounded by these people on a daily basis is more stress-inducing than anything else, I would say move out. I, of course, don't want to be living with carnists for very long. It is in my goals and my wish list to move out and not live with people who stock the fridge with animals and have lots of plastic and harmful chemical products everywhere. It's not inducive and indicative and healthy to my way of living, and it doesn't support me in the ways that I want to be supported. And if you are feeling the same, then I would suggest that you start on your path to perhaps moving out. I understand that a lot of you are young and probably still live with your parents, but it's never too early to set your goals. So whether that's thinking of moving out, going to university or college if you're in America, or getting a job to save up to maybe live with friends, to move out a little bit earlier, I would suggest thinking about that. Or if you are young and you have many years ahead of you still living with parents who are carnists, then perhaps try and make as many vegan friends as possible online and in real life, to surround yourself with that support system outside of your home life. So those are my ramblings and my tips on how to live with carnists and people who are not vegan when you are vegan or you're thinking of transitioning to veganism. I hope that answers some of your questions. If you have any more questions or comments, please add them in the description box below. I'm more than happy to make a follow-up video, because this was just kind of off the cuff. I'm probably gonna think of 100 more ideas as I edit and upload this video. So if you do have any specific questions on this topic, please let me know below. I also read every single comment and respond to as many as possible. So don't forget to thumbs up this video if you liked it and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. All right. Bye.